Imagine a world grappling with the aftermath of an unprecedented global conflict, a world where old empires began to crumble and new aspirations for self-determination surged across continents. It was a time of immense change, laying the groundwork for much of the geopolitical landscape we know today. The rise of nationalist movements after the Second World War was primarily due to the severe weakening of European colonial powers, the global spread of self-determination ideals, and the emergence of new superpowers that opposed traditional imperialism. The Second World War fundamentally reshaped the global balance of power, leaving traditional colonial empires like Great Britain and France economically exhausted and militarily depleted. Their resources were stretched thin by years of warfare, making it increasingly difficult and costly to maintain control over distant colonies. Furthermore, the war had exposed the hypocrisy of fighting for freedom and democracy in Europe while denying it to peoples under colonial rule. Documents such as the Atlantic Charter, signed by the United States and Great Britain, promised self-determination to all peoples, giving moral and political legitimacy to anti-colonial movements worldwide. This global shift meant that colonial peoples, many of whom had contributed significantly to the Allied war effort, felt empowered to demand their own independence. They had gained military training, political organizational skills, and a unified sense of national identity, often forged through shared experiences under colonial rule and during the war. The emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as global superpowers also played a critical role, as both nations, though for different reasons, were ideologically opposed to traditional European colonialism, providing varying degrees of support to these burgeoning nationalist movements. A key concept here is the demonstration effect, where the successful independence struggles of one nation inspired others. For example, India's independence in 1947, achieved largely through nonviolent resistance, served as a powerful template and motivation for other African and Asian nations. This cascade of decolonization profoundly altered the international system, shifting from a handful of dominant colonial powers to a multitude of independent nation-states. Ultimately, the end of the Second World War created a fertile ground where the seeds of national identity, planted by decades of colonial rule, could finally blossom. It was a period where the immense human cost of global conflict inadvertently paved the way for a new era of self-governance and independent statehood across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, forever changing the map of the world.
If history fascinates you, like, subscribe, and explore more with us.